Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers, to the 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth. And once again, to my fellow laborers who risk their lives and their freedom to do this work now more so than ever. All right, and the few aqua that are listening and learning. And this is a response to one of my subscribers who constantly being a bad girl. She's been kicked off every channel that I have. I have like several. And this is the only one that it's not critical race theory. It's actually the GMS Maccabean spirit, Ba. Ba meaning two. Okay. And her name is Kika P. And Kika, actually, I'm fond of Kika because she's entertaining. She really is. And she loves to comment. Sometimes her comments are for the truth, and sometimes they're against it. It's hit or miss with Kika. You never know which one of her is going to show up and which one you're going to get. But she knows better than to be commenting in the first place. Anything out, putting up scriptures and trying to give her opinion. It's just amazing to me how not just her, but Christians in general, especially female Christians, scream Christianity and, they love their Lord. Like, I'm going to read some of her comments. And, but yet they disregard, Corinthians. They disregard 1 Timothy when they're told to be silenced and to learn in all subjection. They'll go and find scriptures, but they kind of duck and dodge those. So I'm gonna get them. Let me get let's go to I think it's 1 Corinthians 14, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go there first. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 14 and 34. I'm going to start at 33. I'm going to start at 31. It says, "For ye may also prophesy one by one, that all may learn and all may be comforted. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. The prophets of the Lord," all right, "were all men." Point blank, period. All right. There's a couple books that have women name on it, but they weren't the prophets in those books. They just happened to be involved in the story. And the very word prophetess, because you're always gonna have some woman jump on the comment board and say something, even though I'm reading scriptures where they're ordered not to. They're gonna, but they believe in the Lord though. All right. But the prophetess just simply means the wife or the daughter of a prophet. All right. The prophets were men. It tells you that clearly in Ezekiel, I think 34 and 1, on 31. I'll get that after this, but it says, "And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets, and God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints." All right. And there's no peace. Okay. And there's no peace and confusion when men are dealing with scriptural things. All right. It's not supposed to be. But once you involve women, that's why the next line says, "Let your women keep silence in the churches. For it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as saith the law." But here in the West, Christianity teaches that a woman is, and the West period teaches that a woman is equal to a man and she can do what the men do, and the woman cannot. The Lord didn't choose women to be his prophetess, to be his prophets. He chose them to be helpmates to his prophets. All right. Verse 35. "And if she will learn anything, let her ask her husband at home, for it is a shame for a woman to speak in the church," which is the gathering of the people, not a building. The church is not a building. The church are the men of the Lord when they're gathered together. That is the body. Okay? So, let's go to Timothy now. 1 Timothy 2:11. And I'm to the point where I'm glad I'm not, she needs to stay in her place, but now I get to edify. She brought this out because, man, this, and the funny thing is on this video, Eve's latter end will be painful and shameful. All right. And I reposted it on the GMS Maccabean Spirit Bar channel, and our whole conversation can be seen. But on this one, it can't, it's the same video. It's not popping up. Maybe I need to go to, I figure it's the same video. The comments will pop up. So I'm actually reading the comments from my phone and not on the screen. That's kind of aggravating. All right, that they're not on there. But anyway, this is 1 Timothy 2, and I'm in 1 Timothy 1:2-11, and it reads, "Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp the authority over the man, but to be in silence." So the Lord never meant for women to be in positions of authority. Yet in the West, I keep seeing videos with Israeli soldiers, IDF, and I've seen all these cute little girls. In America, same thing. In the West, the same thing. But these brutal enemies that America's about to face, you don't see no women in their armies, man. Not on their front line. Maybe in the office, handling paperwork and that sort of thing on the medical side. But as far as, being in the field and, ready to fight and all that, they don't have women like that. All right. And if you watch, the enemies of America, their armies train, and then you look at American soldiers, it's not looking too good. But it says, verse 12 again, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp the authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity, holiness, and with sobriety." Okay, ladies, Kika, all right, you're going to be saved for childbearing. That's the only reason the Lord is going to save the Israelite women, period. Okay, because you have to understand, he made a promise to Jacob, and he made a promise to Abraham. All right. But what you have to understand, ladies, is that the Israelite man is the prize. And that's not, to a diss to the Israelite woman. I actually love the Israelite woman. I have an issue with the Judite woman right now. Well, not every one of them, but collectively, man, oh man. But, our women in general are completely out of order. All right. But I do love the Israelite woman and love her first and foremost over any of the heathen. But our women are completely out of order collectively. All right. And what they need to understand is that the Israelite woman cannot bring back our race, cannot bring back our people. The Israelite man can. All right. Whether his wife be a heathen or whether his wife be an Israelite, the man carries the seed. All right. And then all you weak, beta males are going to come with your nonsense. Your opinions and your effeminate emotions don't matter here. What you think and feel. The scriptures clearly state that, it's through the man. All right. Within the holy line of the Lord, there are heathen women. So if you're going to say the Lord is a heathen, that King David was a heathen, that Solomon's son was a heathen. All right. So, so it only really takes your father. That mother stuff comes from Esau, Edom, and Judaism, which is off, which is wrong, which is fraud. So let's get back to her statements. Let me get back to our conversation. All right. And it says, and here's what she said. It says, Jeremiah 1:14-15, "The nations that came out of the north against the land of Judah," explains a lot as what's happening right now, the so-called Middle East. And I like that, see, because she's right. It is the so-called Middle East. She's absolutely right when she called it, because it's not, that's something that they made up. Then she states Isaiah 11, 10, and 16. I can think of many verses that refer to this, but sufficient, because I don't know what portion of the video she's answering when she says this. But let's go to the next one. But she's right. What they refer to as the Middle East, as you can see on this map here of Asia, this map of Asia that I have right here before you. All right, this is all of Asia, the color part. The yellow part is Africa. The yellow part is Europe. Western Asia, that's what they in an ancient world they called it Mesopotamia. All right, but Western Asia, which was full of melanated people, there weren't any pale people. That's another thing that Kika has an issue with. All right, because she's of the Greekish fashion. Although I believe that this woman is an Israelite, but that's neither here nor there. I think she's one of those scattered people, mainly because of her rebellion in her mouth. And she's probably Judah on top of that. All right. But yes, so I have to agree with her. It is the so-called Middle East. She's right on that. All right. She says, my people genetic DNA results say we are indigenous in Levant and have Phoenician ancestry, as do Lebanese, who have similar results. My Lord and only Lord knows, and only the Lord knows who his people are. We are living in serious days. Right? That's what she said. Okay? So then I came back and said DNA can and has been fabricated by pseudoscience. To trust in it is foolishness. The Israelites were scattered among all people of the earth. Their DNA is completely corrupted. There would be no way to know who's who by DNA only in this time. The spirit and history would actually be a better witness. Romans 8 and 16. So let's go to that. All right? Because they deny and cover up real history, because that will reveal to you lots of things. All right? With Romans 8 and 16, I believe that's the spirit. Yeah, the spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of power, the children of God. And if children, then heirs, and heirs of God, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, all right? If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together, all right? So that's talking about his elect. That's not even talking about all of Israel, all right? The Lord is only coming for all of Israel. I mean, for the elect of Israel, all right? The all of Israel will be saved in the kingdom. The rest of Israel, the 2/3 is already set for death, will be brought back through the union of the elect men and the elect women, all right? That is going to be their job, is to bring back the billions of our people that are going to die, being that we're the biggest race of people on the earth. When you consider the Negro, Latino, Native American, plus our scattered people among the heathen that look like the heathen, we're innumerable. We cannot be counted. All right? It's too many of us. It's another thing. Although, like, look at Scott Ritter here on the former Marine intelligence officer and former UN weapons inspector, his spirit bears witness that he's an Edomite. Nevertheless, there are our people, some of our people are actually going to come looking like him. And you have these spiritualist Israelites, who are very carnal and don't go by the spirit, don't go by the scriptures, that would say otherwise. Okay? So this isn't a color thing. Esau tries to make it a color thing to keep that separation and definitely to control the narrative. All right, so our next back and forth. She agrees. She says, yes, true about the scattering, actually feel more comfortable amongst the Jamaicans Greeks, and cryptos are reverently pure as married. Because I've watched the videos and in the past, this I've been having discourse back and forth with Kika for many years now. It's been about a good maybe uh, 6 or 7 years, so I believe it's been probably about that long, maybe about 5 or 6 years. I've been having a discourse back and forth with her, and she even found her way onto other brothers' keyboards, comment boards. But nevertheless, especially after I banned her from all mine, but except this is the only one she's still on. All right, but it says, um, yes, the true scattering actually feel more comfortable amongst the Jamaicans. Greek cryptos and are reverently genetically pure, as we married within our own people for thousands of years, and they can see that's where she's wrong. But it says, and the arid heat of Asia Minor and North Africa preserves genetic DNA in bones as the days of Noah. See, so you can't mix science with the spirit, because you know she's talking about they marry within their own, but the people in Greece aren't the original Greeks. The Etruscans and the Picts, the people of color, that with all the tattoos on them. The original Greeks were all melanated, Negroid type people. Everyone in the Mediterranean, in Mesopotamia, North, in all of Africa, North Africa, all of Asia, and the only pale people was Esau, Edom. And it wasn't until Alexander of Macedon, all right, who can be traced back to Esau, Edom through his father Philip, all right, when they got dominion and took over Greece, took over the Greek, the melanated Greek people, and pushed them out, subjugated them, and then mixed in with them. All right, because the actual Picts and the actual Etruscans, the Minoans, they all got pushed out of their land. And today you call them Hawaiians and Samoans and Polynesians, and Australians. Okay, most of them went into the South Pacific. All right, after losing and being driven out of their land. Okay, so let's go back to our back and forth. This should be more. I'm trying to find. There we go. And then she says, because it's in this video, I do remember going in on the fact that that Benjamin Nada J-O-O and his people were using prophecies that actually condemned and cut him and exposed him to not being the people of the Lord. All right? Because when the Israelites go back to the land of Israel, there will be peace on earth. There will be no more wars. They wouldn't have to leave their land. They wouldn't have to have a campaign constantly on TV and newspapers and magazines daily about anti-this and anti-that, how they're such victims. When the Israelites go back, the world will be taking a knee to them and then going to them to learn. These people aren't teaching the ways of the Lord. They teach the ways of the Talmud. As a matter of fact, they persecute Christians in their own land. All right? Or in the land that they now occupy, because it's not their land. But she says, and I must agree with her when she says this. Boy, and that's 8 replies after that. She says, furthermore, my Lord was not a Jew, and he did not. That's what she meant to say, not did. She just was probably typing fast because she put it backwards. I do that. But I know what she meant. She said he did not practice Judaism. The word Jew means someone from the land of Judea, and actually the word Jew is completely made up, which should read as in the land of Phoenicia, not Judea. The letter J was invented. I can prove this with verses if you want them. And then I just said agreed. Judaism nor Christianity has nothing to do with the Hebrew Israelites. Romans 11:1. So let's go to that. And then I also put Hebrews 7:14. And it says the Israelites followed the law. All right. Trying to open up more of what I said. It won't do it. Wow. Oh, there it is. It says, followed the law, statutes, and commandments until they did not and was punishment and scattered among all people as a result of that. And that's exactly what happened as a result of not following the law, statutes, and commandments. Not Judaism. That's a religion, a made-up religion of them of the converts following the Talmud. All right, that's a religion, not a race, not a bloodline or anything. Okay, but let's go to the script. I quoted Romans 11:1. Let's go there. And it reads, I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite, all right, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. All right. There's another scripture which I can't think of right now. Someone can put it on the comment board where he says, are they Hebrews? So am I. All right. So it says, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham from the tribe of Benjamin. But yet you will have people who in their ignorance refer to Paul as a Jew. All right. He was a Roman citizen. All right. But he was an Israelite, all right, of the seed of Abraham from the tribe of Benjamin. All right. And he also stated, are they Hebrews? So am I. There's your Hebrew Israelites. All right. And there's 12 tribes. Let's go to Hebrews 7:14. That's referring to the Lord. That's why I said I agree. He wasn't a Jew. He was an Israelite. You know, from the tribe of Yahweh. Okay. It says, Hebrews 7:14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe of Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. All right. The Lord sprang out of the loins of Yahweh, which means, God thanks. All right. That's and the tribe he came of has the Lord's name in it. Okay. You can't get around this truth. Let's go back to comments, and then she says, yes, but the orthodoxy has the truth. All right. I believe I have learned most of what I need to know. Is there anything else you believe I should be researching? I will now tidy up my playlist and reduce them. All right. So she's trying to humble down and listen. And then I just told her the truth was taught on the streets, the highways and byways, not in any church. Acts 7:18-24 and Acts 7:48 tells you clearly that the Lord dwelleth not in temples made with the hands of man. There is no building, right? Because that's not what the church is talking about in the Bible. The church is the body of the men that do the work, the body of the believers. Okay. Proverbs 1:20 says, wisdom crieth out in the streets. Okay. That was my response to her. And then she says, but that contradicts Matthew 6:5 and Isaiah 26:5. And then I just let her know that Isaiah 26:20. Isaiah 26:20. Let's get that real quick before time runs out. That's talking about the when they come into that's the secret place. That's when the elect gets lifted up onto the chariots and saved from the destruction. This is Isaiah 26:20 and 21, and it reads. Yeah, this is when the war goes full blown, the missiles start flying. It says, Come, my people, enter thou into the chambers and shut the doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were a little moment until the indignation is past. That's when we go up in the chariots. When the slaves used to sing, swing low, sweet chariot. All right. When Parliament and Funkadelic remade the slave song, swing down, sweet chariot. Let me ride. Remember that song? All right. For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity, and the earth shall be disclosed of her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. So that had nothing to do with the church building. All right. So the Greek Orthodoxy is not protected of the Lord. The Lord is not with them. All right. So with that, all praises going honor be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakak Badash, Wa Abab Abal, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom.